Okay.
Take two. Welcome to tonight's call, everybody. It is Monday night. It is September 11th. It is a somber day in most cases. There's been a hurricane. There's been lots of things. And I always like to give a little bit of history because we're going to look back on these calls, at some point, and we will have a whole library of them. And it'll be really interesting for people to figure out, like, where were we 2 years ago? Where were we 3 years ago? And there's a lot going on right now. So with all that, tonight's call is going to be a really interesting one and really interactive. So I want you guys to be able to unmute quickly and pipe in, or if you have something that you want to say, just raise your hand so we can see visually. I can see 4 people in a screen. So if I'm, not calling your name for some reason, just unmute and jump in there. There's no rhyme or reason to this. We just wanted to, it's funny, sometimes in our business you find cyclical conversations that happen like in different areas at the same time. And when that happens, I try to respond to it because I feel like there's something happening or growing or developing within the team culture. And it's always really important to address that, And so today it was really interesting because I had a great conversation this morning with Buffy and Linda about branding. And then I was talking with Danielle a little bit later and it came up again. And then it came up again in another conversation. So it was just so interesting that that's kind of coming to place. And I think that has a lot to do with, first of all, you guys know what I mean by branding? I mean, it's like Nike, right? Nike has a very clear picture of what you can expect when you walk into their store, with the products that they purchase. It's the same thing with Coca-Cola or Pepsi or whatever. Like there's branding associated with, interacting with a product and the community. And so in this particular context, I wanted to ask you guys, why is branding important? Why is it important for us to be consistent with our messaging when it comes to Juice Plus? Anybody have any feedback on that? Like, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't thought about it, now's a good time to explore those thoughts. Quiet as mouse.
Well, I'll step in. Branding.
Cool.
It's the messaging that you're putting out. Who's talking? Is that Linda?
It was me, yeah.
Okay, go ahead, because your picture wasn't on. I didn't see.
Cool. Branding is important because if a customer buys something and they like it, and they will possibly share the same product with someone else, like Nike is like, oh, Nike shoes, I like it. Oh, I like those shoes. I'm going to go to the store and get Nike shoes. It's, another friend or something like that. That's how I feel.
Great. So what do you think about the branding makes it conducive for that person to recommend it? There's something in there that gives them courage to go share, right? Can you put a thought on what that might be?
Quality,
sure. I mean, that could be a description of what the branding is about. But there's a big key piece to branding that I want to get through tonight, that for you guys, that we're all on the same page with this.
But branding.
May I?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Branding, you also recognize like a logo.
Right.
To me, that's another big part of branding.
Okay, so that's a piece of it. You said logo,
so
quality.
When you said what I'm hearing is what makes Nike stand out. And whenever I think of Nike, I think of fit, athletic people that have energy and just have their shinola together. Because any ad you see, Nike has just got BA people wearing their stuff. There's no excuses. They're just making it happen. Whatever the fitness goal is, they are making it happen. And if you're wearing Nike, you're going to get your fitness goals accomplished because you're wearing Nike.
Okay, so you're onto something. So over the course of time, has that message changed?
I don't think it has.
Right. Exactly my point. So
being
consistency.
With,
yeah.
Exactly.
Consistency. And that's like the big ticker that I wanted us to come from this conversation tonight, is to be thinking about how consistent is our messaging? How consistent are we in our messaging? How consistent are we in our own personal branding? Can people count on us as we go through this journey with them? Does that make sense? You see why that's important, right? Because so much of the time, when people come to the Juice Plus experience in the beginning, they're excited, they're open, they're curious, they want to give it a try, right? But so much of that experience, that interaction has to do with their rep. I mean, it's just, we see this over and over and over again. There might be like, out of all the leads that I've gotten over the years, like maybe I would say like so many of them are, their rep fell off, and they lost touch with that person, which is why they stopped taking it at some point. It had something to do with that. So the customer interaction, the consistency of what we bring to the branding that we're putting out there on social media, even, if we go, we do a big shred campaign, and then 3 weeks later or a month later, we're posting pictures of fast food drive-through with our kids. Like, you see how that could be confusing for people, right? Like, the consistency piece is so important for them to be able to trust you in your conviction for sharing with them, right? So, any thoughts around that before I kind of tie it into the next concept? Danielle, I know that's your favorite word, consistency.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. It is a big piece of it, and people watch what you do. So even those people that aren't your customers yet, but they might be thinking about it, are watching to see kind of the walk that you're walking. And let's face it, like, we're all human. So
Totally. Yeah.
You need to be real, and you need to be authentic, and you need to be true to who you are. But, you also want to always put your best self out there. So even if you're having like, if we're talking in terms of like, Facebook or whatever, and we've done our big shred campaign and what have you, but, after 3 weeks later, maybe it's like we indulge in like some like chocolate chip cookies or something. I would probably craft my wording in such so that it still relates to like, hey, I'm only human. Good thing I just, I have another shred coming up, or
right.
You're still real. Like, yeah, I still eat cookies, but
you want to be relatable and
right.
right,
I'm also really mindful of everything else. We're not superhuman.
Totally. Some people are, but I think that's hard to sustain. I'm the first person to admit it. I mean, certainly in this, tough time of life. Like, I mean, if my dad wants to eat pumpkin pie, then we all sit and eat pumpkin pie because we want him to eat food, like it's whatever we can get in him right now, So that's the reality of where I'm at. Like, I mean, you have to be authentic, but absolutely like stay true and consistent to your messaging. And that's, I think, what served me well over the last 10 years is that I notice when I shear away or when I pull away from my messaging on Facebook, then my sales drop down instantly. It's really interesting. Or like my orders or my customers start to defer or whatever. But when I'm consistent, when I'm that constant little tiny reminder, and not like a commercial in their face, not like, posting the bottles and all that stuff, but just the lifestyle, right? Like people, when I think of my branding, it's community, it's kids, it's, picky eaters, it's cancer awareness, prevention, it's, family, it's community, but it's team. Like, I love team, the concept of team. Like, everybody that knows me knows that I'm a part of a team, that I have a business, there's no question about it. I don't go out there recruiting like, outwardly and stuff and being awkward about it, but I try to be consistent with that messaging of trying to illustrate that, a part of something, a part of a movement, part of a culture that they can, watch too. And it's funny to me how many people respond to, like, I have friends that have never touched a thing about Juice Plus, that have never come to an event, people that I would expect that would really want to jump on board, but they watch everything I do. It's fascinating to me, and I only hear it in snippets on side conversations when we're like picking up kids or something, and they'll be like, yeah, I saw your post the other day, and oh my gosh, they didn't like it, they didn't comment, they didn't anything, but the consistency, right, is what they go for. And I have to say, Danielle, you're probably the queen of this. I think you do the best of this for sure, really. I mean, you're always, on Instagram, you're there, you're consistent with all of that, more so than I am, and I appreciate it. I learn from watching other people, and what I wanted to say about this. So the branding. So why is that important? So it's basically, it's the consistency piece is so that they can count on you, but the clarity piece too is so that they know what you have to offer, right? So much of this, like, and some people are going to say, like, I don't want to be a commercial on Facebook, I don't want to do whatever, and that's fine. But if you're looking to build a serious business, you just need to let people know. Is that snoring? Is somebody snoring? Do I hear something? Sorry. There's some kind of noise. It's probably a dog or something. Anyway, but the point is, like, you know, being clear in your messaging. So I wanted to ask you guys, you know, who are we? Like, and really get the adjectives and and pull this stuff out from you guys. And I know we did something similar a while back, but I want to know from you guys, like, what do you feel we are as a Juice Plus culture? And then I want to also distinguish, like, what are we as a team culture, you know, and really start campaigning around that messaging and getting that out there to see if we can attract more like-minded people that are of that thought process. So if I would love for you guys, if you could kind of jump in and maybe give 1 or 2 words that describes like the Juice Plus culture, and then 1 or 2 words that describes the Honeybee, like our team culture, from your experience, because that's important that it comes from you, you know, authentically. You guys want to play a little bit? You willing to? Can I call and pick on people? Because it's easier that way. Michelle, thank you.
Energy and fun.
Energy and fun. Awesome. For which one? For Juice Plus or
Oh,
for Honeybees?
Honeybees. Sorry.
Energy and fun. I love that. Okay. Yay. Okay. What about Juice Plus? How do you see Juice Plus? Like, what kind of culture do you see in that side of things? Because they're similar, but they are different, you know?
True. And health.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Danielle, you're next on my screen. What are yours?
I think one that comes to mind for both Juice Plus and for the Honeybees is caring. I think ticks both of them. I think for Juice Plus, I would say, I would say authentic too.
Mm-hmm.
I think for the Honeybees, you can also say authentic, but I love Michelle's fun and energy. Passionate.
Cool. I'm writing these down. Okay.
I have one.
Go for it.
Accountability, which could be
Ooh,
used
I
for
like
both.
that.
But because, like, I know at least around here for our tri-states, like, if I needed to do something but then couldn't pull through, I could count on somebody else to step in.
Mm-hmm. So the word that comes to mind when you say that is dependable too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put dependable on the team side and accountability on the Juice Plus side, because
Right. The product. Right.
and the the culture and the programs. Yeah, I think that's
Michelle
awesome.
keeps raising her hand.
Michelle,
I'm sorry. Can I say trust? And that's for both ends.
Yeah, that's huge, actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I was going to say too, loyal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
On
that
which side?
I think that could go on both also.
I love it. Okay, good. Okay, who's next?
Melissa?
Linda? Yeah, go for it.
The bigger team would be like big team. I think that's the Heat team.
Well,
right?
I'm asking Juice Plus culture, like the company culture with the product experience, that branding, and then the Honeybees side of it, like our local
The
team.
Honeybee side would be healthy for me. Healthy.
Okay.
The big side, I don't know. Not sure.
Like the products and the company, what does that represent to you?
Variety. There's a variety of products we have.
Cool. I'm writing that down. I'm trying to think of how to, I always think of, I want to put the word tools with that, because I always think of variety of tools. It's like tools to help you move in one direction. That's what comes to my mind. Okay, awesome. Anything else, Linda, you want to add to this?
No.
Okay. All right, who's next? I've got Brienne and Jennifer. Jennifer, can you unmute?
Both walking. Maybe
they're both
in a quiet place.
Sorry, I have just a few distractions over here.
Okay. Are they
Got two
rolling?
kids
Yeah,
and
that
a
was
dog
me.
right now?
trying to interrupt me. I was thinking community for
Yeah.
both, really. It creates a community around the people who are involved.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to make a note about that. You know, the community piece, you see how important then that is to include people and introduce them to it quickly, right? When they say yes to this experience, if they're just in their house taking their products, having their own isolated experience, they're missing out on so much, right? I mean, because it really is so much of a community experience. I love that. Okay, Jennifer.
Which one are we doing now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
Go-
just giving
go-
adjectives to describe like the branding, what you can depend on, count on, what represents Juice Plus to you. And
That was
then the
my
same thing
husband
for the
snoring,
team.
by the way.
Oh,
Yeah, he fell asleep next to me. I was like immediately trying to mute.
oh, that is so funny.
Yeah,
I love it.
he had a little bit of alcohol before bed, which is not on the shred. But he is taking his Juice Plus and his shakes.
Awesome.
So, I mean, for I think most people said the things I was thinking of, but did someone say support it? Support?
Mm-mm. No. What
Um,
comes? Which one does that fall in for you? For the Juice Plus culture or the honey, like our teen culture?
I think the honeybees. Juice
Okay.
Plus is just, for me, is just hope. That's the word I think of when I think of
I
it.
love it.
Like my daughter woke up sick, and I was very frustrated. She had a fever and a cold on Saturday, and she woke up sick, and I was like, "What's going on? She's not supposed to be sick. She's on Juice Plus," and she got over it. Went to school on Monday. That's never happened. She got over it so fast. I mean, she's still a little congested, but she just got over it. She just healed really fast, and she didn't feel sick. She just had a cold and a little fever and just got through it. So a lot of people were sick at school, and she caught a little something, but she got over it quick. So it just gives me hope that I'm on the right track, even if I'm taking small steps. It just very hope for my father, hope for me, hope for her, my husband.
Awesome.
So
I think hope for so many, I think so many people come to this experience with that, which really brings up a good point, because in their process, in their experience, what we need to do is figure out what are they hoping to accomplish? Like, what is it that their goals are, or, expectations or whatever, because the sooner that we identify what those things are with people, then we can help them either put them into reality check. Because if somebody comes in and says, hey, I want to lose 30 pounds in 20 days, we have to have a conversation, right? But if they're coming to us and they're saying, look, our family's been really struck with colds and flus, and we're so sick of being sick, and we really need some support and help, then we know that that's what's important to them. We can help them, get information, be supported, check in, see how things are going, help them be consistent and remind them of why they're taking it, all those things, because we know what their measurement is, right? When people just say that they'll give it a try because they're just not sure, I think it's important for us as reps in that customer care call to really help them identify what those things are, to make sure that they're not just hoping blindly, but they're hoping with expectation that we can help them along the road. And when you help people meet their goals, man, they are loyal, they tell everybody because they've just accomplished something that was really important to them. So it's really, really important.
Oh, I will never miss a dose of my Juice Plus or my daughter ever again.
Yay!
It's helped us, and it was a bumpy road, but we made it, and you and everyone on the team were very supportive. So thank you.
Well, you should smile now, because that's a good thing. There you go.
I hate these face cameras. I hate looking at these face cameras.
I know. It takes some getting used to, for sure. For sure. Okay, who's left? I've got Gina on the phone. I can see you there. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Everybody's already said all the words: community, supportive, like all of that, energetic. I think we're like a family. Our team seems like we're more in touch and in tune with each other than most people are, which I love. We have a special bond. And as far as, Juice Plus, I just, everything that was already said, it's a supportive community, both customer care and for us as
as distributors, they're amazing on the phone. Like, I mean, I think everything's been said that I could possibly think of, unless I had a thesaurus. If I had a thesaurus, I would totally
I love it. Okay, very good. And Buffy, do you want to jump in here too? You're the last one I have here on the phone here.
Of course, my mouth was full. Sorry.
It's okay.
Well, for our team, it's I don't know how to say it, but it's a safe haven for me. That's what the team is for me. And then the company is foundational. The products are foundational, right? So
yeah, absolutely. Love it. Thank you. All right, I'm going to put some
Did you have a thesaurus, Buffy? That's not fair.
All right, I have a couple I'm going to throw in here too. I think first and foremost, on both sides of the fence, I see growth. I experience and have watched people step into this and grow so much as people, as families, as health, people. I mean, just awareness altogether. But I think that that's such a huge thing to offer people because, in life, I kind of find that people get comfortable, sedentary, and then their world starts to close in around them a little bit. It's like we create these safe bubbles in our 20s and 30s of what we want life to be like. And then a lot of people stay kind of stagnant, through that. But I feel like it does offer hope. And also the experience offers room for growth. And I think, just looking at, you, Danielle, in all this, and Buffy and Gina, I mean, so many of you watching where you were when you started and where you are now, looking at myself and seeing like what was important to me then and how this experience has shaped my values even, and the course and the direction, the growth in our financial, world as a family, giving us options in so many directions in so many places I never thought possible. It's just been incredible. And I think that all these things, I'm going to post these on the Facebook page so you can say that. But when you're inviting to team, I wanted to do this because I wanted you guys to get really clear about what we have to offer people. It's not just a business or a paycheck. It's not just a product to try or a shred or a detox. It's hope, it's health, it's caring, it's authentic, it's accountability, it's community, it's trust, right? It's a foundational experience with a variety of options, with loyal people. I mean, that's such a huge, there's so much wealth and richness in that alone, right? And just the Juice Plus side. And when you're talking to people, the more you can use this kind of language, the more you can paint a picture for them in who we are and what we're all about, right? And then as a team, I mean, I don't know if I was explaining something to somebody or if I was looking at them and trying to see like what they, asking them questions about what they wanted in their life. And they were telling me about a frustrating work environment where they couldn't trust anybody and they, weren't having any fun and they were drained at the end of the day. Then I might say, well, have you ever considered taking a look at what I do? We're really fun. We've got really amazing, authentic, caring people who are passionate about what they do. Like there's room for growth here. It's a safe haven with trusting, loyal, healthy people. It's a community. It's a family. You see how all of a sudden those words come into play? So that's what it's about. It's about creating these stories and really branding ourselves in what we want to be and advertising that and shining that out, because the more we're clear about who we are, the more we can attract good people. So that's what I had to say about that. Danielle, do you want to add anything? Because I know you watched a really good training today.
Now you're going to make me remember back to the afternoon time. It was a great training, and it was similar. I posted things up before from Susan Sly, and I like to follow her because she's successful, and she's been doing this among many other things for a long time, but she also is very real and tells it like it is. And today's and she goes live every Monday, and so this one particular one was oh gosh, what was it? It was about basically like, do you feel stuck in your business? And if so, maybe these are like the 5 things you want to look at and just similar to kind of to your point, Melissa, about the, being comfortable. It kind of like we do have to take a look at ourselves. So, if something is not working right, if your business maybe isn't growing the way you want it to, or the way you think it should be, or what have you, you don't want to be looking outwardly at any of those variables. You really want to be looking inwardly. And for a lot of people, that's sometimes hard to do. But it really, like the buck stops here when it comes to your business. You're your business. You're your business owner. We all have the same tools to use. We all have the same products to share. We all have busy lives and varying circumstances and what have you. It's up to us to do something with it. And that's, you get it, but hearing it again, it's eye-opening, and you have to hold yourself accountable. And I think to make this point though too, like as a team, we all can be accountable to each other, and using this team as the loving, caring, supportive, group of people that we are, we really can trust in one another and link arms to help each other move each other forward, if that's what you want to do. And that's what I love about this team.
Mm-hmm. And I really do think that because we have that energy about us, which is unique, and Gina knows because she works with so many different teams. So take her word seriously. Like she's seen it all, up and down the West Coast at least, and a lot of places around the country. We have something special, but that's why it's so important to edify it. That's why it's so important to lift it up and celebrate it. When one of our team members, and I'm just going to shout you out, but Danielle just got invited to do a training in New York City in front of all these really, bigwig other people. Like you guys should be there, to lift her up, support her, be there for yourself, but be there for her too. Like that's where team comes in. It's about team. It's about celebrating the win. It's a win for the group, and something really special. You guys are in a place where you're building events that never existed before. There wasn't a community in that space. So the more, it's a responsibility really, for us as a group to, if we're really authentic to what we're describing ourselves as being, it's about showing up, right, to these things. Same thing out here. I was saying to Buffy, we were talking earlier, but about like taking pictures about what we're doing and stuff. Like we took some pictures the other night. We need to get those up and celebrate everybody that was in the room, celebrate the messaging that was brought out, tag each other and put it up there. And another great night with my awesome friends, like sharing the message of health, something simple, right? But like really getting out, like the more consistent we are with that piece, the more consistent we are with the team visuals, like that it speaks volumes to people out there. And I think that that's where the growth is going to happen in your business, because people see you actively doing things right together with smiles on your face and a lot of energy around you and all that positive smiles and fun. And then on the last note too, I just want to leave you with it. This seems to be the theme of my week in this conversation. I feel like it's been like 10 days straight, but we're responsible for the energy we bring in the room, right? Every single one of us. We're responsible for the energy we bring onto a call. We're responsible for the energy we bring when we interact with somebody at the supermarket, with our kids, with our teachers, with everybody. And if you're sharing Juice Plus from a place of passion and caring and authentic energy and really positive, loyal, dependable, supportable, all this healthy, community piece, you want to bring that with excitement, to the conversation. And the best way to do it is to put a smile on and just look somebody dead in the eye and say, how are you today? And when they ask, how are you? You say, I'm freaking awesome. We are so lucky, you guys. We are so incredibly lucky for what we have, for the knowledge that we have, for the tools that we have, and for the people that we get to do it with. So let's end on that note. And I just want to say thank you for all of you for being a part of this, because it takes a team, and it's just, we are a combined energetic movement that we're creating together. And I really do want to challenge us to take the next step, to build your business to the next step, whatever that is for you. If it's, you've never added 5 full customers in 1 month, then do that. If it's, I want to stretch and go for 10, do that. If it's, I'm struggling with team, find a way with your upline to do that. Whatever your next step is, identify it, and let's take that next step together, because it's not just about titles or paychecks. It's about growth. And when we pour into that space, then it starts to get really fun, So I love you all. I hope that was helpful for tonight. And, just be consistent. Take a look back on your Facebook tonight. And as you kind of ponder some of this stuff, jot down maybe 3 or 5 things that you want to brand yourself with, and how Juice Plus plays into that puzzle. And that'll be a great way to kind of kick off your week, is start looking at that and looking for things that you can put up there that are mirroring that. And then ask a friend to see if you're doing a good job, because it's nice to have a second pair of eyes on that kind of stuff. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good week, everyone. Good night.
Good night. Thank you so much.